What up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of the LaVar Walker Show. Welcome back. Here we are again. This is episode 4. We're back together again, still in this whole coronavirus debacle. Do I call it a debacle, or do I call it just something that's very, very crazy? And now it's starting to affect more people that I know. I'm seeing people really get affected by this now. At first, in the beginning, not as much, but now it's almost everywhere you look. You're starting to hear about somebody you know, or somebody you know who knows somebody being affected with this COVID-19. And shout out to a good, close, and personal comedian friend of mine who unfortunately has COVID-19 and is battling the virus in the hospital right now, and that is brother Rodney Perry. The guy gave me a chance about putting me on television. The first time I got on television, it was through Rodney Perry on BET's Comic View, and I got to talk to the brother, sounding great spirits. We FaceTime. He had the whole nasal joint on. He's in the hospital getting warm air to the lungs, and I was shocked, I was hurt and startled and scared, all at the same time, because I had in the beginning of COVID-19, I had my doubts. I was just like, nah, it's not a lot of people getting it. It's just a phase. But now, the more it goes on, even though the fatality rate is low, it's still like we all kind of rolling the dice for no reason. You know, the difference in this and HIV and AIDS is you kind of had behaviors that could make you more susceptible to contracting AIDS and HIV, depending on, if you're just out here with no protection, having sex, or, being a heroin user or something like that. So you automatically knew, I'll probably get this. But with this particular virus, I mean, all you got to do is just be outside or be around somebody and your ass got it. And even though it is in a small percentage, it's like, damn, you just roll the dice, man. And you wake up in the hospital on a breathing machine or some type of breathing treatment. And so I would say to everybody, continue to social distance and wear that mask, not for you, but for everybody else. That's the least we can do to help one another, because if we don't come together on this particular issue, we're going to continue to crumble. The way it's politicized is sad. The way they politicize COVID-19 is sad, man. It's like a left and right thing, when in actuality it's a human thing. It's something that we're all battling. It's not the right's fault. It's not the left's fault. But if we don't come together on it, it'll definitely be our demise. And before I get any deep, I want to shout out one of my Instagram followers who told me the proper way to use this microphone. I found out I wasn't talking into it right. Like I was talking into it from the back of it or something. So shout out to her for pointing that out and giving me a diagram on how to use it. And really, you're supposed to just talk straight into it like that. So I don't know if you could hear me better, but hopefully you can. Big thing going on right now is sending the kids back to school. I talked to several of my friends who don't plan on sending their children to school. And then one thing, like the schools, these private schools are not trying to give any type of break in regards to tuition or anything. And you want parents to still continue to pay out of the ass for Zoom class, which is quite ridiculous. Most people are scared to put their kids back there, and I understand. There's been an uptick in cases, and I know they say like the kids won't get it, but does anybody in the world care about the teachers who will probably contract this, and some teachers will die? Now, the thing about it, like in the government, what they're saying is, hey, they got to go back to school, but it's a low fatality rate. So basically, you rolling the dice on your children. And in Georgia, they just, I believe, put out waivers that parents would have to sign. So I guess the school will not be at fault if, the child catches COVID and dies of COVID, which makes no sense. And if we're going to send these kids back to school, how about we send Barron Trump back to school first? I read somewhere that Barron Trump's school isn't opening until October. And I talked to my dad today. Actually, my dad told me that. And his response was good for the goose is good for the gander. Some old man shit he told me. And I mean, come on, we got to get on one accord. And I said this earlier. I just think you just need to shut the whole country. The country should have been shut down for March. You should have put in protections for people getting foreclosed, evicted. Just put every payment on pause since the whole nation is running on debt. You just pause everything, and we pick up probably first quarter of 2021. But since we haven't done that and we've defied science, this is the first time in life where it seems to me numbers lie, but men and women don't. It's the first time where there's no leadership, even in the scientific community, on how to solve this problem or how to fix this problem. We're also rushing to a vaccine, which I'm a little bit frightened about because I guess it'll cure us from COVID, but we all be running around with tails or looking crazy as to develop some type of hoof because this particular vaccine wasn't studied effectively and just rushed out to the public only for financial gain so they could get more money and keep the economy roaring. And speaking of the economy, we are in big trouble. We lost 33% of the gross domestic product. Now, if you don't know what GDP is, that is like pretty much the sum of all goods and services, in the U.S. for profit. So if we made 100 billion, 30% would be like, we literally lost over 30 billion for our GDP. 30%. So that means we are definitely sliding off a cliff as the U.S. economy, but it hasn't hit us yet. And they're cutting off the benefits. I hate to sound like a Debbie Downer here, but they're cutting off the $600 benefits and unemployment. And I just, I don't know. It looks like it's about to get bad. And I've been noticing a lot of people, this whole pandemic, you don't even see, it's like everything seemed to be running regular. It's like hella people in the street, hella people at restaurants. People are everywhere. And it's like, damn, everybody must really still be getting this money. Everybody. People are living like there's nothing going on. Well, it seems like the reckoning is yet to come. So I'm predicting by the end of the year, man, it's going to get bad. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And also the price of gold is starting to spike through the roof. So it's kind of showing us that our currency is becoming devalued. So I don't have any answers. All I could do is give this news about the economy and what's going on and basically just keep it moving. 32% in gross domestic product. And they also predicting a lot more businesses to close, more layoffs. This is going to continue to happen. And that's why it's detrimental that we get together. We have to get together. I was out early this week, went and got my car washed and went up to Lowe's to try to buy me some fly traps for the yard. Totally sold out of fly traps and no fly traps because I got these little bags you put a little water in and all these flies just keep getting into the bag. And and they're totally sold out of these. And I'm like, damn, every shit is running out again. We were trying to run out of shit. So it's really messed up. I was watching this new, well, first of all, I want to say shout out to Beyonce for Black is King. That shit was magical. That was like a beautiful display of art and Africanism and just everything you could name. It was just such a beautiful picture. And if you have a child that you want that child to experience their blackness and all its royalty, you gotta check this out, man. I mean, they are really royalty, man. Like Jay and Beyonce. It's like this whole big movie, and it just shows the beauty of Africa, the beauty of blackness. Also shows them being together as a family, which is really dope. Beyonce, Jay, all the kids, and I'm really proud of them to be a black family man, a black man. It was a really comforting video to watch, to say the least, and that shit gave me goosebumps, like for real. Like I was like, damn, this is so dope, so dope. So we thoroughly, me and my wife, set up and watched that today, and we also watched P Valley, which is a show on Stars about stripping. It's pretty cool, but their accents is kind of forced. Like I hate to see that. Like if you got people talking country with a country dialect, it's like a forced dialect. And these people are not from the country, and they all sound like slaves. They all sound like slaves in this. I'm like, it's 2020. Why is everybody sounding like that? Hey, good. Your head up, fix it, and they not really moving their lips or none of that shit. And it's like, yo, what is this? What are we watching right now? So I was kind of into it, but I don't know if I'm gonna really be able to stick around. It looked like they just could have shot that in Atlanta and called it a day. Also, I have to warn everybody, in the black community, we're faced within our community a lot of vultures and a lot of predators who prey off of us with what I like to call hotep preaching. That's when niggas is constantly hitting you, hey king, hey queen, let me show you how to get this money, because we need to come together as a people and all that, and it gets you rallied up. And these people, they join, they get on top of movements, and then they put out a product and rob people and pillage and just scam lots of people out of money. So we need to be very alert to who I like to call the hotep preachers, the hotep pimps, and the whole black Nubian, I'm gonna rob me somebody movement that's going on, because we're being hurt by this. It's very, very unfortunate. Also today, Tekashi 6ix9ine shot a video in New York City, had all the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, all the cars, all the hustle. And I'm like, man, he right in the middle of Brooklyn, and not a tough guy in sight is there. No street guys. You would think, this guy being off probation, that something would happen to him, but I guess the game has changed drastically. And thank God I'm not a part of that game. I'm glad it was able to skip over me. Thank you, Lord, for that. But it's just surreal to see that, because everybody talks tough. And a lot of tough guys, I find, like to talk tough to guys that aren't tough guys as well, or aren't in the street, which is really weak to me. There was an earthquake in California, but California, it seems like they long overdue, man. Shout out to everybody I know in Cali. Y'all be safe out there, but it seems like the big one is coming, like a big ass, what they call it, one of them San Andreas earthquakes is coming over there, because it seems long overdue. I mean, because it's already breaking down. I hear about things shaking and all that, but it's rough, man. It's rough because they sit on like this tectonic plate across the equator that I hear at any day is just going to break off, and most of California will probably turn into an island and float off the U.S. coast, which is that's quite scary. So everybody in Cali, be careful, and I pray for you all. And I don't have anything else to talk about. I guess I can sit here and talk about me and my boring life right now. So this week, just work, dealt with patients, people getting on my nerves. Came home, went to Lowe's, I bought these little light fixtures for the top of my fence. They really cool. They solar lights or whatever. So I got those and didn't do much, man. We chilled, played games, just watched movies, looked at Instagram. It's a pretty boring life. Wanted to go get on stage. I can't wait. I want to go get on stage, but like I say, it's just not safe yet. So I don't know. So hopefully one day, oh Lord, one day when this lets up, I'll be back. Hopefully I will be back. Well, this is going to be a short one this week. We're going to wrap up it right here at 16 minutes. My name is LaVar Walker, and this has been another episode of the LaVar Walker Show. See you next week.